Welcome to the Auburn Medical Group YouTube live stream, the entertaining medical live stream where viewers can ask real-time questions of real medical doctors. And here are our hosts, Dr. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gawain Vaughn.
And welcome again to the Auburn Medical Group live stream, just like Mr. Ed's voice said. And Mr. Ed is here with us. He is, yeah. So I should probably update you on what I did to Dr. Gawain just moments ago. He did get his Dutch brothers.
I did.
And I didn't know for sure what order he wanted, so I knocked on the door. He was in the exam room with a patient, and I said to both of them, I have something very important I need to ask Dr. Gawain. I said, it's.
You didn't even ask.
It's approaching 4 o'clock on a Monday, and at 4:30 we need to be ready. And what's your order? And so in front of a diabetic.
You made me
that he's telling don't have carbohydrates.
Sweet mocha order. It's hard for me to say, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be. Don't drink your calories as I'm making my Dutch Brothers order. Oh, man.
Okay.
Embarrassing.
All these principles of trying to live fitness before our patients and good nutrition, and then I sabotage you with that.
I ran this morning.
Okay. All right, you ran.
Yeah, that's like my only
good
saving grace.
I was going to run this afternoon, but it's raining.
I got in before the rain. It's kind of nice.
So this is one of those weeks where we don't pick a topic, but instead open it up to viewers to send in comments and questions, and we'll respond to it.
Yeah.
And we will answer your medical questions. So that's what it's all about. We are really putting it on the line to put it in your hands. And in fact, I even made it so you don't have to be a subscriber to comment this week.
Anyone.
So we really opened it up.
Wow. All right.
We don't know what's going to happen.
That's trust right there.
We do have greetings, of course, from people like Rusty Bernard, hello, and that comes in all the time. Mr. Ed, are you about to read one?
Oh, Teresia. Good evening from Ontario, Canada.
She's in Ontario. I didn't know she was usually. Isn't she usually? Yeah, she is in Ontario.
She's in Ontario.
Teresa, greetings. So our audience is international.
Yeah.
By a few miles, anyway.
Give or take.
Same
Ontario.
continent. But.
Yeah. We've got some on the other side of the
ocean. We do. Maybe we will today. Maybe we'll have questions from people.
Isn't Bianca from
Yeah, I believe she's from Great Britain.
Yeah, I think she said hi.
Okay, and then Andrea from Adelaide, Australia is also...
Look at that, all of those.
So we do have an international audience that participates quite regularly on the show.
Yep.
And anybody who's trying to figure out, how do I write in? Well, first of all, you have to see it when it's live. This is 4:30 on 11/1/2021. And I say 4:30 Pacific time because that's where we are. So you have to do addition or subtraction depending on where you are, or if it's after Sunday.
Hit that bell, that little alerts bell, and it'll...
I think that's a better way to do it. Subscribe and then hit the bell icon, and then you...
Although if you're in the middle of, like, on the other side of the... You get an alert at, like, 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it's time to watch.
Well, we are important enough to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for, so...
Yeah.
Hey, we have somebody getting ornery already.
Oh, no.
UK is rubbish. Wish I was in Canada.
Oh, come on.
What?
That's Bianca calling UK rubbish.
Oh, Bianca.
Okay. But not America, apparently.
Who is the custodian of the chat here?
I don't know. That's your job.
No, he can't do it from that one. Yeah, I think it's you.
No, she's fine.
No, she's fine. Bianca's fine.
I will not put you in timeout.
I can give a little bit of update of what's been going on in some health news, medical news. Of course, almost all of it is COVID related these days. Let's see. We have this is something that would not be picked up by all the things, but although I did put it on our podcast today, the Dr. Vaughn's COVID-19 Updates podcast, about the study on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine causing cerebral venous sinus thrombosis. Now, this is something that came out rather early on in women aged 30 to 59.
Right.
There is this risk of them getting blood clots in the veins around the brain, and that can cause strokes if it's large enough and severe enough. Usually people come out of it just fine, but it can be a problem for some. And so the question comes up, if the vaccine has that problem, what's better, take my chance with the vaccine or chances without it with the virus? And they did a study to find out how often this happens. Out of 100,000 patient years, I believe, is how they measured it. And then how often people would get severe effects from COVID, that would be the equivalent as far as how bad it is to your health. And what they found is that you're 30 times more likely to have really bad outcomes with COVID than to have this thing happen to you, even if you're in that group of women aged 30 to 59 with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And so it just reinforces our recommendation to get one of the mRNA vaccines instead of the Johnson & Johnson, even though by the numbers, you're 30 times better going with the vaccine than not. But hey, why chance it? Go with one of the mRNA vaccines. That was my conclusion anyway.
Sounds reasonable to me.
And then do we have, if somebody doesn't have a question, I can also talk about what's going on with the 5 to 11-year-old people with Pfizer.
Yeah, that is the
FDA's recent...
Okay,
so I'll talk about that. So the FDA approved the use of the Pfizer vaccine in 5 to 11-year-olds.
Right.
That doesn't mean we're giving it yet. Not just yet. Almost.
We are on the break.
So the ACIP, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices to the CDC, is meeting Tuesday and Wednesday. For us, that's tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. They will go over it. Most likely, they will agree with what the FDA is saying, and then it will go to the CDC, where the director will probably make it a recommendation for 5 to 11-year-olds. So we could have by the end of the week. 5 to 11-year-olds get the vaccine. Our understanding is, according to Kaiser Health Foundation, Kaiser Family Foundation study, that 27% of families say they're going to get it right away.
Yeah. Which is pretty good.
Yeah. So,
and then
not as many.
Another third or so that want to wait and see, and then the other third that's just absolutely no at this point. Yeah. Which in California will be a big deal because our governor has mandated that if you're going to go to school,
if it's approved,
need to be vaccinated. If it's approved, which it's going to be approved.
Yeah.
And I think the way it was worded, if I remember, he was saying that it is the start of the semester after it's approved. That would be January. Probably. Starting in January next year, our kids are going to be required to have the COVID vaccination to go to school.
In addition to all the other required vaccines that are already required and all the kids in school already have.
This is not a new thing. This is not unprecedented for sure.
No.
Definitely not in California.
Yeah.
So.
Of course, we saw resistance to vaccination with measles, the measles vaccine.
Right.
I won't say quite a bit. I mean, it exists. It's something that's around. You see it, but it's like one family out of the whole school or a couple families.
Well, they can't go to school now if they don't get their MMR vaccine.
Yeah, that happened just.
There's no way of opting out of that either. That one.
See, I'm trying to remember. Was that did that come up on the ballot for people to vote on, or was that?
I don't think so, but it was
passed
recent.
by the legislature.
It was passed by the legislature
within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
For MMR in California.
Right.
Wayne, you want to look at that from Deborah Wonker?
Deborah.
I would say.
Hi, Deborah. They're probably getting weather there, too.
Let's see. She got the results of her ultrasound, and they're going to do an MRI of the bladder. They found a mass.
Oh, Deborah. Sorry.
Oh, man. As a home health nurse with problems with the catheter. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
She's had a lot of
lots
lately.
going on.
She really, and besides her family being evacuated for the fires, I think 3 times.
She's up there and right in the thick of it. Well, fortunately, you got some. Hopefully, you got some rain. You probably got some snow up there.
Yeah.
I heard that all of the resorts are going to be, well, not all of them. Some of them are going to be opening early.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, ski resorts opening.
That's kind of exciting
for what they call spring school.
Where's Wonker from?
She's from Portola.
I think that
north of Truckee.
North of Truckee.
It's not Portola though.
What's it called?
It's Quincy.
It's
Not Quincy. What's the name?
Well, it's outside of Quincy, but I thought it was Portola.
I don't know.
Is that where Portola is?
Yeah, I think it is Portola.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
All the western states still have fires. I love like 46 different wildfires.
Even with all this rain
in these states, and now I'm hoping the snow and the rain will put it out. But they're still going away.
Fire season. We can see the end.
Yeah,
we're getting to the end.
Longer and longer each year.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with that. Thank you for the update, Debbie.
Yeah. So, what else? We're waiting for your questions as we draw it out.
We set this time up for your questions and comments. So we certainly are pleased to go ahead and do that. But we can talk about other items
What else
in the
do you
health.
want to talk about?
Let's see,
Can we talk about something that's non-COVID?
diabetes.
Diabetes.
Because that's what the patient has who you were with when I asked what you wanted from Touch Brothers.
yeah, that's true.
Just to,
What do you want to know about diabetes?
yeah, so there's a number of new medicines for diabetes. If you're not a diabetic, you may not, or if you are diabetic, maybe you don't know that there's a number of new medicines. I know some of them get advertised on television, and actually I'm not aware of what those ads are, but we are always having to keep up with these different classes of medicines.
Yeah.
Some of them actually can be given to people just because their BMI is a certain amount, their body mass index, they're overweight enough that even without having diabetes with it, these medicines are appropriate for them to use because they help with weight loss and appetite control.
Pretty neat. Yeah.
That's a fairly new thing that's quite interesting.
Also on that front, there are some of the diabetes medications that have an indication solely for their cardiovascular effects, for how they help protect the heart. So even without diabetes, they're being given to some people with a very high cardiovascular risk.
Yeah, and we've been seeing the cardiologists.
Recommend them.
Doing that with some of our patients. We share with them.
And it always comes back to, how much does it cost? That's our job as primary care doctors. We're always like, okay, into it. That's a great recommendation, but my patient's probably not going to pay $500 a month for that.
$500. Yeah, a lot of them are coming in right around that $400 to $500.
Yeah, that seems to be the sweet spot.
Somebody's
for
sweet
new
spot.
medications.
The drug companies, I guess.
Who can spend that much on medications?
So it actually costs a lot less to avoid the diabetes by eating sensibly. We say sensibly. I don't know if that's the word for it because it's kind of hard to do it.
Healthily.
Yeah. Having half of your diet be fruits and vegetables is a great step toward having less health problems in the future.
Yep. Limiting the sweets and the starches, trying to get high fiber foods.
That's fruits and vegetables, which is not easy for people who live in what they call a food desert or a relative food desert because they don't have fresh food within distance that they can easily access or get to. A lot of times it's more like inner city situations where people don't have a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables readily available. Unfortunately, they have things like McDonald's and Burger King readily available and affordable rather than... So that's why there's movements for community gardens and farmers markets, things like that to help get some.
Rusty Bernard saw a news headline that some research is in process for water pills being investigated in use to help retard dementia-related diseases.
Well, that'd be great.
I have not heard of that, but that sounds great.
That sounds great.
I have not heard that.
I hope so. So I don't know which diuretics that would be, but...
Retard dementia. I don't think we use that type of terminology anymore.
I needed whatever it is.
You need whatever it is.
That'd be nice. I've not read anything on that. There are like so many announcements that come out that sound like this. When you actually look at the studies, you find that the degree of change is just enough that they can say it's actually real. There is a degree of change, but for the poor patients who are given the treatment, they find that, well, yeah, maybe there's some change, but it's not making a difference in my day-to-day life, even though you can measure the difference.
Right.
And so that's why we're disappointed with drugs for dementia up to this point. And there was that one that just got approved that was...
Yeah, it kind of got pushed through the approval process and didn't really have all of the checks and balances. Or to
people quit at the FDA over it because it was so disturbing to them that this thing got pushed through. And then the indication wasn't even... Oh, I'm trying to remember what it was.
It's very specific.
It wasn't that it would actually make the difference it was supposed to make. It was worded very strangely. This new drug, I don't even remember the name of the new drug.
Oh, I don't remember either. I even wrote a post on it, but I don't remember.
I had no intention of prescribing it in the near future based on the data we have so far.
Like the cost, of course.
And yes, that too.
Yeah. When really, if you just think about it, one of my attendings once told me, if it's good for your body, it's good for your mind. So for those of you who are worried about dementia, mild cognitive impairment, maybe have some of that progression as you get older, that word finding difficulty. If it's good for your body, it's good for your brain. So that would mean anything that's healthy. So exercise, good for your body, good for your brain. Eating healthy with plenty of fruits and vegetables, good for both.
Adequate sleep.
Yeah, adequate sleep, hydration. All of those things.
Controlling stress.
Controlling stress.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are things
stress
we
me out.
recommend.
Bianca agrees with you, Dr. Gawain. Fruits have quite a lot of natural sugar.
That's true.
Well, yes, and we do need to be careful in how we use those fruits.
Right.
Having just a bunch of very high sugar content fruit with nothing else can do some problems with raising your blood
diabetes,
sugar.
yeah,
So you
absolutely.
want to have it together with proteins to help kind of tame the rise in blood sugar. So that's one way to do it. And
There are a lot of excuse me. There are a lot of nutrients in those fruits too. So if you do need to have that sweet food, reach for a strawberry or something like that, rather than just going for ice cream or a dessert. You are going to get some
What?
more nutrients.
Are you kidding me?
and eating the whole fruit, not just getting the juice.
That's right. Just keep going right down to the stem. Wait, what?
Right down the stem. Although,
When you eat the banana, don't peel it. Just
don't even take it off the tree.
Isn't that where all the nutrients are?
Bobbing for apple.
Bobbing for banana.
There's more nutrients if it's still attached to the plant.
Just start gnawing on the bark.
Well, that could be a good source of roughage, yes.
You can get your pipe.
Very rough.
Oh, man.
That might hurt
Yeah. Yeah.
a day later. Or two. Yes. But did you get what I said about not having just the juice by itself, but eating,
Yes.
having the skins and getting the full
Yeah,
benefit
the juice
of
kind
all
of,
that's
you
there?
lose all the fiber. You lose.
Yeah.
Some,
You're just getting
some of the
a rise in
nutrients there.
blood sugar without getting something to help to
The
moderate
fiber,
that.
which can tamp that down a bit.
That's right. That's right. So the actual fruit itself, not just the juice from it. And then vegetables help to moderate that too. 'cause
Yeah. Vegetables don't have much sugar at all.
Some vegetables, you're burning more calories eating them than you take in from the food value of it. So it's
Vegetables.
it's exercise.
It's exercise.
Like celery, for example. I don't know about carrots. I would guess.
I don't think so. Carrots are pretty nutritious.
No, I mean as far as calorie per
I don't know what kind
Calorie.
of carrot you're eating.
calorie
You take
eaten per calorie spent. Getting the
You're
benefit.
really
for it.
gnawing on your carrots.
I hate carrots.
You just need to get the right carrots. Carrots are good.
Okay.
Bianca says avoid bread. Avoid
Yes,
anything
that's-
that tastes good. And
What?
And you should be.
Is that Bianca or is that you?
that's Bianca.
Okay.
Pretty much good advice.
Yes, bread. If you're going to have
Oh.
bread, the whole grain.
You
and-
just got to learn to like those things. 'Cause,
Yeah.
fruits and vegetables can be delicious.
Yes,
You can have
absolutely.
some vegetable salad.
Yes.
Yeah, that can be
Yes.
good.
Find the vegetables you enjoy. They are there. You just have to search for them. There's a lot of vegetables. Lots and lots of vegetables to choose from.
Yeah.
Okay. The show has turned to vegetables. We got to get something more
Let's bring it
interesting
back.
here.
Teresa.
Teresa, is that how we're going to do it?
Yeah, she'll bring it back for us.
Okay.
What did she say? I will be volunteering at the hospital. They tested my blood.
Oh, very
I
good.
have low immunity for rubella and varicella. They want to give me the vaccine. Is that okay?
Huh. I've never heard of that being done. Low. Not
Yeah,
that she
low
has
immunity.
absent antibodies, but low.
Just low. Yeah.
So they're doing quantitative?
I think they did it for me when I got mine tested.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you have them, so this is one of the things we see a lot with COVID is whether or not a person has antibodies and what it means to their immunity. And some of the studies are suggesting that even with very low antibody counts, people can mount an immune response thanks to other elements of the immune system that can ramp up the antibodies very quickly so that it doesn't really matter what the numbers are. So that's, I have a bit of a question of
Yeah.
if there is reason to redo that.
They're probably going to require to.
I
and
haven't-
there's no danger in you getting
No, I
another
haven't
vaccine.
done a literature search to see what the recommendations are on that.
Yeah.
But
I think we've had to do that for some of our patients going to nursing school or
Have we?
some of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that
tested.
they were quantitative. I thought they were just qualitative. Just a yes,
I'm
no,
pretty sure.
either you have the
Yeah.
antibodies or not is what I
I think there's a
assumed.
cutoff so for whether they call it a positive or negative anyways. So
Okay.
so maybe you're under that cutoff.
Oh, that could be what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sometimes will have that. Good. Okay, well, we hope that
There you go.
that turns out okay for you. And we're glad that you're going to help out at the
Thank you.
hospital. That's great. We commend you for that. Kind of like somebody commends teachers and educators in his blog post today. those of you reading drgreenknight.com will note
hopefully you check that one out.
The pandemic has affected the educational system too, and that teachers have really been there for our kids in some extraordinarily difficult circumstances when they're doing their part, and sometimes there are students or families that aren't doing their part.
Right. Yeah.
So it's been
Back to medicine.
Back to medicine.
Yes.
Bianca, her husband, got the pneumonia flu jab and the flu jab last week, and this week he is so ill.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Should go away quickly though.
Yeah.
If you have a little bit of a response to the shot, as happens with
both at the same
flu
time.
shots and COVID shots. Yeah. Usually it goes away within a day or two.
Yeah. Looks like it may have been longer than that, but still should be fine in the long run.
Yeah.
I like how overseas they call it a jab.
I've seen that a lot in the U.S. too.
Get your jab.
Yeah, I don't use that terminology myself, but
It sounds a little rudimentary.
it sounds like something that's not encouraging people to
Go get your jab. Poke?
Yeah. Poke? That's not much better, is it?
Vaccine. Just sounds clinical.
Yeah.
Now Bianca's bragging. She says he's really chesty.
It's really sort of chesty.
That must mean.
Got a lot of phlegm in the
Yeah,
chest.
I've heard that means something else.
Busty? Is that what you're trying? Is that what you're thinking?
Somebody that does lots of push-ups?
Maybe.
You guys are very chesty.
Thank you. Would work out. My chest
The
often.
two-dimensional camera doesn't pick it up.
Don't turn to the side.
Got to get the lights, get the angles here so you can. Yeah. Well, thank you there, Mr. Ed.
I'm a runner, not a.
For a runner. Yeah, runners don't really.
They have
not a lot of upper body on the runners there. Okay. Were there any final comments on this
No,
viewer-driven topic show of this week?
you're gonna have to have more of these.
No. We'll have a topic so that
come up
Mr.
with a
Ed can
topic.
prepare. He always
That's
likes to
right.
have
You
his
always
jokes
wanna-
for it.
Have something.
There you go.
Okay.
I do like to prepare when you
I know,
have a
we
subject
appreciate
ahead
that.
of time.
You're so good at it.
Because, you can dig around and get something kind of chesty. Oh, no, chesty.
What? He told the person to write it. That was his joke for the week.
What is going on here? This is decaying quickly.
Anyway, I'd like to.
He's the court chester.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Who needs a peanut gallery? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Gwing,
Yes.
anybody in particular you want to thank this week?
Yeah,
Where-
sure.
where you want to direct?
So if you have kids who are in the school system, go check out my blog and pass it on. It's meant to be something you can maybe send to the teachers in your life. Let them know that you support them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's been a rough time for teachers, so I just wanted to write a blog, letting them know that we're here for them and that we're back them up with everything going on, all the craziness in the world, even the backlash they're getting from both sides, kids and adults. I want to be supportive. So go check that out. And over there at Dr. Knight, I do have a Patreon, and I would like to thank Teresia Rowatt for what you do. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Teresa. And Dr. Mark Vaughn here. You can find me at Dr. Vaughn on all the socials. And I want to thank Lindsay Antwine for what she does over at Patreon. And you can go to patreon.com/Dr. Vaughn if you want to get your name at the end of the show. That's available.
Hey, somebody figured out my name was Welsh.
Oh,
Good job,
They looked
Julia.
it up.
You're right. It
Until
is a
next
Welsh
time,
name.
We
I'm
have
Dr.
Holly
Gwing.
and Mr. Ed and Dr. Gwing, Dr. Vaughn, telling all of you to stay in good health.
See ya.
Doctors, thank you for another informative session. Auburn Medical Group is located in Auburn, California, USA. Thank you for participating. Please tell a friend and join us again next week.